Lowe's 4th of July clearance going on now. Save up to 60% on clearance merchandise store-wide. Save $1,000 on this luxurious sofa chaise, now just $9.99. Plus, furnish your whole home with up to 60 months no-interest financing at Jerome's.
This is Eyewitness News with live breaking news.
The most powerful military in the world is postured and prepared to defend our people. But what the president gave us, as I said, was a focused, powerful, and clear mission on the destruction of Iranian nuclear capabilities. Those were the targets. That's what was struck. That was overwhelming.
Breaking news at 7 a.m. The U.S. has attacked 3 key nuclear facilities in Iran, and the attack is being called Operation Midnight Hammer. Will Iran retaliate? And what does it mean for Iranians in our region? We're live with the latest details. Good morning, everybody. I'm Tony Cabrera.
And I'm Irene Cruz. The Trump administration is touting the overnight strikes on 3 Iranian nuclear sites as a massive success. It said it was a complex and high-risk mission. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth hailing Operation Midnight Hammer as bold and brilliant. However, the exact results of the strikes still have to be assessed, including how much of Iran's nuclear program remains.
Earlier this morning from the Pentagon, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth gave updates on how the strikes were carried out and the intentions of those strikes. So let's get to Eyewitness News reporter Carly Gomez live in studio with the extensive details that we just learned in a press conference. Carly?
Yeah, Secretary of Defense Hegseth says these strikes were carried out only to destroy Iran's nuclear program. He says the U.S. is not hoping to cause a regime change with these attacks. The Pentagon tells us U.S. bombers dropped 14 bunker buster bombs into those nuclear facilities, causing, quote, extremely severe damage and destruction.
As President Trump has stated, the United States does not seek war. But let me be clear. We will act swiftly and decisively when our people, our partners, or our interests are threatened. Iran should listen to the President of the United States and know that he means it, every word.
The attack involved more than 125 aircraft, the Pentagon saying the bombers, along with U.S. fighter jets, a submarine, and surveillance and reconnaissance aircraft were able to go undetected. Military officials noting that Iran's surface-air missile system did not hit U.S. forces or were even deployed, allowing the U.S. to hold the element of surprise. This conflict hits home for many people in the area, as Los Angeles is home to the largest population of Iranians outside Iran. That includes one man who was part of the resistance to overthrow the Islamic government in Iran.
I don't know why the U.S. should drag themselves in the war between 2 other countries and spend the taxpayers' money over there.
I'm actually thankful about that to President Trump. But at the same time, we Iranian people inside of here, the States and outside, we were expecting a regime change. We were expecting United States and Israel help us to get rid of the this dictator regime.
The city of Los Angeles is closely monitoring threats to public safety following last night's strikes. LA Mayor Karen Bass shared a security update last night, adding that there aren't any credible threats right now. The mayor says there are going to be more police patrols near places of worship, community spaces, and other sensitive sites. We're getting word that the U.S. and Iranian officials are now in communication. The Pentagon saying America doesn't seek war and didn't target Iranian troops or people. Iran's foreign minister says he will travel to Moscow on Sunday to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Carly, thank you for the latest. And there are a lot of questions that still remain after all of these announcements. Some of the big questions are, how prepared is the U.S. for possible retaliation? And what about a prolonged conflict with Iran? Is the Trump administration prepared to deal with something like this? So we're still seeing a lot of the aftermath when it comes to this operation. And meantime, leaders in Washington are reacting after the airstrikes, with some in President Trump's party praising the move.
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham congratulating the president, saying, good good. This was the right call. The regime deserves it.
Homeland Secretary Kristi Noem posting, quote, "We will work unceasingly to protect the American homeland."
Not everyone in the GOP is on board. Republican Congressman Thomas Massie from Pennsylvania responded, "This is not constitutional."
Many House Democrats are criticizing the president's actions. Congressman Jimmy Gomez, who represents Los Angeles, says Trump's unilateral decision to strike these facilities may lead the U.S. into a war with Iran.
And Congresswoman Judy Chu represents Pasadena. She says President Trump just illegally bombed Iran with no authorization from Congress.
So again, what could happen next with this, and how did we get to this point?
We spoke with an expert on Iranian studies and Middle East studies at USC to explain.
For decades now, the United States and Iran have been, you could say, at odds, especially over the nuclear program. The events of the past 10 days, 2 weeks have clearly been trending in this direction. The quickness from going from having negotiations to dropping bombs, I think, is probably the most significant and surprising factor. If Iran chooses to respond more widely, either to attack U.S. forces or to threaten the world's energy supplies, that will likely cause the United States to intervene more fully.
And these are some of the newspaper headlines people are waking up to this morning. The LA Times reads, U.S. enters Israel's war with Iran, striking 3 Iranian nuclear sites. The Washington Post reads, U.S. strikes Iranian nuclear facilities. And the Daily News says U.S. bombs Iran.
Well, later today, there's a protest planned outside the Wilshire Federal Building to demand the end of U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran. This is video from a demonstration in downtown L.A. yesterday. Protesters at yesterday's demonstration were also there marching against the war in Gaza and recent immigration activity across Southern California.
And we will continue to follow this developing news out of the Middle East. We'll have another live report in the next hour. You can check for updates here, wherever you stream, or on abc7.com.
And good morning. We're tracking some cool temperatures across Southern California to start the day. Taking a live look from Malibu this morning. Some nice cloud cover there along the coast. But actually, with Malibu, that's one of the only spots where we're seeing this cloud cover. Much clearer skies for us across SoCal this Sunday. Temperatures right now in Malibu, upper 50s. Look at this, Irvine. Nice blue skies. So getting a little bit of a break from that June gloom. Upper 50s for you as well. So temperatures pretty mild to start the day. It is going to be a little bit warmer than what we felt out there yesterday. Big Bear at 41. Banning, you're coming in at 49 degrees. And then moving closer to the coast, 62 in Santa Monica. Woodland Hills in the 50s this morning, 53 for you. And Van Nuys already almost to that 60-degree mark. You're at 59 today. This afternoon, it is going to be a really nice one. And what a little bit of cloud cover we do see out there is going to be very clearing very quickly. LA, Orange County in the 70s. Valleys, Inland Empire making it to the 80s this afternoon. Beaches, mountains in the 70s as well. And even beaches, we'll see some really nice sunshine. High desert, you are in the 80s today, so a little bit warmer. And low desert, you are back in this triple digits. We actually cool down once again, so I'll break it all down in the full forecast. But for now, Tony and Irene, I'll send it back to you guys.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. A man was killed in Long Beach overnight after he was struck by 3 cars. Only one driver remained at the scene. Police say the man was on East Ocean Boulevard near Falcon Avenue when he was hit by the first driver that didn't stop. It happened around 9:30 last night. While the man was on the road, 2 more cars hit him. The second driver stopped to help and is cooperating with police, but the third driver also drove off. The man struck, died at the scene.
The Pasadena community is coming together in a call for unity after federal immigration agents were caught on camera at a local park. This happened early yesterday morning when 2 men were taken off the street at Villa Park while buying tamales from a street cart. Witnesses at the scene then tried to get their personal information so their family and friends could be notified. Federal agents were also spotted entering an apartment building on North Marengo Street, apparently grabbing a few more people there. After the raids, the city canceled swim lessons and other programs at Villa Park. Rob